Attack on Titan Season 4 Episode 2. Quite a few anime cuts, including Ackerman lore and Best Girl. So what's up guys, Foxen here. Time for this week's Attack on Titan final season manga comparison. How did Mappa handle this dialogue-packed episode? What was up with that weird warrior scene? So go ahead and also smash that like and subscribe. Let's rage to 500,000 before 2021. For this episode, there was actually quite a bit cut out. I should mention it was a juicy filled dialogue chapter. Some of the stuff cut out was not as bad as you might think, although I know some of the bigger cuts will get some of you heated. This whole episode covered about 2 chapters, 93, half of 94, and the start of 95. The episode is titled The Midnight Train, which is the same title as chapter 93. Kicking off the first cut, a line removed. In the manga, this Adolf dude seemed a lot more steamed. He emphasized how the only reason that Zeke was able to sink those ships was due to the Armored Titan's efforts. For an additional anime detail, you could clearly see a different language on the newspaper. This ties back to the enemies they were just shooting up. Next anime cut, an entire page for Magath. He explains how the majority of this 4-year war was through naval engagement. With that, Marley's Titans were useless. Comparing Marley's naval capabilities to their enemies, the Allied forces have more advanced and powerful battleships. Marley's stuff is just too outdated. He highlighted how them relying on Titans had made them complacent, which allowed their enemies to surpass them. Overall, despite a whole page removed, info-wise, not much lost. For a bigger anime cut, could this be a retcon? You're no longer shown the map of the vast Marley Empire. In the Attack on Titan manga, you could clearly tell that Marley corresponds to Africa and a chunk of Europe, only a flipped version. For the anime, now nothing. Which is weird since you have seen 2 different views of the map in the anime before. I'm not ready to call this a complete retcon, but it seems the anime does want to make the exact location vague. The anime now instead replaces this with a new scene of the commander standing and looking at the sea. As for the bombs raining down comment, the anime skipped him specifying those being hundreds of kilograms in size. As for Zeke, the boy of miracles or this prodigy kid, the anime for whatever reason called him a golden boy. What the hell? Then for Zeke suggesting the retake plan. Weird, kind of annoying thing I've noticed, which is really just the inconsistency of how Titan names are translated. This happens pretty often for the Founding Titan. The name Founding Titan is used in the manga, Founder in the anime, but I've seen this switched too. For Zeke proposing his plan, he now stands up in the anime. Gotta look high and mighty. For an anime cut, this Adolf dude mentions he's never doubted Zeke's loyalty. The boy who sold out his own parents, which is why Zeke's advice would be taken into account. Getting into Zeke lighting up. Lovely new scene for the anime. In the anime, you have them walking up to this busted up building, complete with sheets left out to dry. Compare this to the manga where you actually have a more detailed establishing shot. You can see the building structures, along with some people in the background. Getting into one of my bigger cuts I brought up in my review, the explanation about the Beast Titan's power. Anyone given Zeke's spinal fluids will now erupt into a Titan via his roar. The Beast Titan is then freely able to command those Titans, and they're also able to move at night when the moon is out. On top of this, Colt mentioned how no previous Beast Titan could do this. I really had to question why they removed this Beast Titan tidbit. I'm still wagering it coming back in a future Beast Titan scene, maybe a mid-info card. Continuing with the anime cuts, Colt mentioned the Titan Society having no ideas either. This was regarding why Zeke's Beast Titan was so special. This Titan Society is supposed to be this research group within Marley. They study Eldians and Titans. So does this line being removed retcon them too now? Let's see if the anime removed any future mention of them. For Magath coming in, there was a little bit more banter between him and Zeke. Manga Zeke asked him if he was interested in Eldian asses. The commander also revealed he's known Zeke for over 20 years. Anyway, for the mention of the 32 ships lost, the manga actually showed you an image of the ships on the way to Paradise Island. Then for Zeke discussing the Titan powers, this was abridged in the anime. Manga Zeke thought about how Eren has a Founding and Attack Titan. The Colossal Titan and Female Titan, however, unknown. So far, a new Eldian kid with Titan powers has not been discovered. Further cut, Colt brought up Reiner's report, claiming people on Paradise Island shouldn't know how to pass down the Titan powers, to which Zeke immediately claimed that Reiner wouldn't have been able to check out the whole island. The possibility for the people on the island to pass down the powers does exist. And for our last chunk here, Zeke really just gave a quick recap of everything. 22 years ago, the Owls snuck away Grisha and the Attack Titan, and how the royal family switched over to the Ray's name. With the mention of Titans being used to stop their ships, the manga actually showed the Attack Titan plus a tease at the new Colossal Titan. I gotta say, I don't mind the anime skipping those. I really would much rather Mappa save the resources for when it matters. Talking about other issues than Eren, the anime cut out the talk about the special weapons designed to kill Titans. And here's a major cut, which is about the Ackerman. Zeke described the Ackerman as a bloodline once thought to only exist in legends told by the royal family. The the Ackerman clan being a byproduct of Titan science. You could just feel Zeke's PTSD 4 years later recalling these two. He said he never wants to meet them again. So think about this, why the major cut regarding the Ackerman? In the manga, this is probably one of the juiciest reveal about them. The possible retcon question comes up. Unlike the Beast Titan info, where you could naturally move that elsewhere, for this Ackerman stuff it's not really the same. The only thing that comes to mind is a certain family talk. So for this one too, let's see if the anime switches it over to a mid-info card. In the anime, this now switches over to Mikasa and Levi going full Ackerman mode. Notice the filter they applied. This might be how they're gonna handle past scenes made by Wit Studio. Even for these two Ackerman scenes, the manga version was different. It instead showed Levi going down to take out Reiner, meaning it was Reiner picturing this instead of Zeke. The anime just combined their Ackerman fears. It also showed his colossal Titan buddy to the left, which the anime skipped out on. This actually does make sense. Reiner at this point would have already been captured, hence he didn't see it. Switching over to the bromance, Porco, no longer looking blonde like the trailer shot. I gotta say, did anime Porco get friendlier? After Reiner thanked him, Porco originally dismissed him, saying it wasn't Reiner who he saved. He was just keeping his motherland of Marley from losing the Armored Titan due to his screw-up. Then for Porco talking about his bro being eaten, the manga actually showed the panel of Marcel pushing Reiner away from the Ymir Jaws Titan. As for Reiner asking Porco whether he had seen Marcel's memory, the anime cut out Porco's little jab. Unfortunately, he hadn't yet seen Reiner abandon Marcel and run off. Ho ho! At least now you get a better look at Ymir's final moment in the anime, which you could actually compare to the Wit Studio version that Historia saw from Ymir's letter. Yes, you were supposed to know she died back in season 3. You then had Porco seeing Reiner from Ymir's memories. The manga actually showed you a glimpse of this reliable figure role that he played on the island. Porco even outright states that he was imitating Marcel. The anime cut out Reiner agreeing with everything that Porco claimed about him. Instead, Best Girl Peak broke the tension. For Peak, let's get a good look at her. You got season 4 Peak, the manga version, and the one in the trailer. Who's the best? You decide. Switching to the port, you got a new anime original shot of the soldier with his local lady. Oh, there is some fun happening tonight. For this weird Udo scene, I figured out what was wrong with it. You actually have a cut in the scene where it jumps forward. It's one of those things that you would only do if you would place another clip in between. It feels like an easy Blu-ray fix. Oh, and this guy got a longer coat for the anime. As for Falco trying to comfort its little crush, the anime has skipped over some Reiner info. He brought up how the Armored Titan survived getting his head blown off before. This time everything but his head got messed up, which means Reiner gets to suffer another day. Don't worry. For an anime edition, ooh, Udo, getting a little too friendly with Sophia, aren't you? For this scene, I do like how you could spot the soldiers hitting up the local ladies in the background. Reiner later on makes some comment about them being too young for this side of town, which means you could imagine what type of fun is happening over here. With the distressed Reiner, oh my god, look at that background. A freaking boat passing by plus the sunset. Come on Mappa, give us more of this. For the past warrior cameos, the anime actually updated their clothing into their training outfits, which should match an upcoming flashback. Then for the mysterious lady checking out Reiner and the kids, the anime now positioned this person on the rooftop. In the manga, they were trailing from behind. A midnight on a train. Mapasuda placing some purple flowers to the side. Or have you seen this before? Celebrating the little Eldian goddess. The anime sure made Gabby look much more peeved, along with smacking that drunk lightweight. Likewise for the captive audience, actually detailed for the audience. The manga counterpart bunch felt like a quick afterthought. With the drunk celebration in full effect, you got anime Gabby now shouting me, me, me. Manga Gabby looked like she was almost in tears. Switching over to Falco and Reiner. The anime skipped over how Reiner only has 2 years left on his term. Time for a serving of insanity. Manga Reiner was much more in depth. Colt would be stripped to any right for the Beast Titan. Their entire family would become a Titan care package. Then with the up-close craze Reiner. Looks like Reiner has much more bite in human form. For a cut line, Reiner told Falco that if he wants to save Gabby, then he has to surpass her. Arriving back home. Love the anime scene of the train reaching the station. For the establishing shot, why does this seem awfully familiar? Different location, same cage. Walls just a tad shorter. Unfortunately, home sweet home to the Eldians within Marley. Super Jump Gabby. Another trailer shot completely redone by the anime. For this anime cut, damn it. Reiner telling Gabby to shut it. Instead, you got a new anime scene. You got a head pat from Porco and more praise from Peak. Gotta be awfully kind to Gabby. The anime actually skipped over some juicy Reiner info. 4 years ago, Reiner actually took full responsibility for the failed Paradise Island operation. Reiner worked his ass off. He proved himself battle after battle, risking his life on the battlefield. In the end, he succeeded, proving his worth. Next anime cut, a full page of Falco and Gabby. Gabby noticed Falco constantly eyeing his cupcake, to which Gabby gave him a ton of crap about. Everyone around them came to the obvious conclusion. Meanwhile, the oblivious Gabby was getting super pissed. Next anime cut, a weird one. Before getting to Liberio, we had a lead up of Marley people glaring at the incoming Eldian soldiers passing through. Looks like this got replaced with Porco and the anime telling Falco, "See ya bro," along with the two lovebirds going at it again. And then a bonus of Peak 2. Seems like every time there's a Porco interaction, it must be followed up by a Peak one. Talking about Peak, you actually now see her coughing Papa. Switching to the Jaeger family. Oh, the anime was not kind to Papa Grisha. Sayonara hair. Next full anime page cut, the conversation between Gabby and her parents. So it looks like they heard about their little Amazonian on the battlefield. Really mostly gushy parent stuff, no biggie loss. For the Braun family, on the left, did they intentionally make this guy resemble Marco? Oh, you are cruel, Mappa. Switching over to the injured Eldians, the anime added a new quick scene showcasing what they experienced. No wonder some of these guys lost limbs. Getting to the dinner time, now raining in the anime version. The anime skipped over Gabby actually admitting that she took advantage of the enemy not wanting to shoot a little girl. Which, by the way, this is one of the few times you actually get a good look at Gabby's parents. They look generic as hell in the manga. For Reiner, freaking love the detail of the rain reflection you can see on his shirt. For a Gabby cut, you had Gabby trying to comfort Mama Reiner, telling her that the warriors would protect her from those island devils. Then a cut from Papa Braun. He let out how there was no telling when those island devils would destroy their world, which is why you couldn't blame the rest of the world for fearing Eldians. Getting into Reiner talking about those said devils. The manga actually showed you the flashback of Reiner shocked by that potato devil, and this included the rest of the devil squad. This even included a younger version of the warriors. New classic shot of a loud noise interrupting too. Then for Mama Braun going off, a key detail skipped. She went on about how those devils turned this world into hell, that the Eldians had built their utopia on a mountain of corpses. New anime scene, you got a poor Eldian dude slipping while trying to get some fresh air. New day, lovely new far shot within the Eldian camp. Going forward, the anime actually skipped over to the next chapter. It axed out 2 pages at the beginning. You were able to see Gabby and Reiner walking down the streets. You had fellow Eldians greeting Reiner as he passed by. Gabby too. These two warriors are really seen as their future. Then the anime completely cut out the interaction with the 2 Marley guards. One of the guys here was even curious to hear about Gabby boasting about her battlefield feat. Shame Mappa removed this. It was meant to show that some Marley people don't outright hate Eldians. Getting into a chunkier anime removal. Gabby brought up how blood relatives have a much better chance of inheriting memories. This is when taking in one of the 9 special titans. Although this according to the scientists, or more accurate, the Titan Society from the Japanese text. Take notice, this is actually the second time that this Titan research group got deleted. Gabby then mentions that if she does inherit the Armored Titan, Reiner would probably live inside of Gabby, which sounds like a sentence from hell. Gabby then went on saying they would clear a path for Eldia's future together. Reiner finished it off with a head pat. Next 2 pages cut, you were able to see Reiner part ways from Gabby as she went into the training area. You could see other warrior candidates running around training. Falco in particular was more pumped than usual. So you have Falco being fully focused on trying to surpass Gabby. Gotta beat Gabby to save Gabby. He even outright tells her that he's going to get the Armored Titan honor, to which Gabby responds with the head smash. It makes it kind of funny when you consider Falco is voiced by Danjiro's voice actor. Notice this was the scene from the trailer. Getting into Best Girl Peak. Ho, I know Peak fans were not pleased. The anime cut out Peak down on all 4s. Seems like Peak really got used to being a Titan for an extended period of time. Meanwhile, I'm not sure if Porco was just surprised or somewhat turned on by this foreplay. So, did Isayama require this being removed? You know, don't want to get Attack on Titan cancelled in 2020. So without that previous Peak scene, it now gives anime Peak being oh so laid back during this meeting a completely different vibe. Anyway, getting into the important monkey meeting, the anime skipped over the intro. Zeke went over how Marley had used Titans against any nation that opposed them. Due to this, the world's hatred towards Eldian had skyrocketed. In present day, the call for Eldians to be exterminated was happening even more. Any possible discussion about human rights for Eldians was pretty much non-existent. Then for the Tybur family, newly added for the anime was Zeke busting out that photo of them. No surprise, some Tybur info skipped. This was a family that opposed the Elden King in the Great Titan War a century ago. They were currently treated as honorary Marleyans. The Tyburs themselves did not get involved in politics or war. Zeke claimed that they agreed to his plan due to the fears about the future for Eldia and Marley. As for the talk about this great declaration, the manga gave you a nice tease of Mr. Tybur taking the stage. Then for the eavesdropping Marley guys, the added detail in the anime was them taking notes instead of passively listening. For the thick Reiner focus, the detail about them always getting this ideological checkup before a major operation got skipped. So let me know, what did you think about this episode? Was too much fat trimmed out? I think I was fine overall with how the episode was handled. I didn't need to see some flashbacks, and I'd much rather Mappa focus on upcoming stuff. For the major stuff though, the Beast Titan info and the Ackerman info removed. I'm predicting and really hoping that some of the stuff comes back in a mid-info cart or is moved elsewhere. For a bigger question mark, you have the stuff about the Titan Research Society and Titan Memories. Gonna have to keep an extra eye on this. But anyway, fun bonus. Which warrior or warrior candidate are you liking the most? Any Reiner love? Be sure to subscribe, over half of you aren't subbed yet. Go and watch the episode 1 manga comparison if you missed it. Or check out my trip to Isayama's hometown in Japan, and I'll see you guys later.